want to make this very clear. I want to just go over a few completely unrelated, isolated, noticeable moments, if I may. The president is now being called a flip-flopper on his Gitmo decision, and I think that's just wrong. Sure, it's interesting, yes. I mean, remember when he came blazing into the office? He told us how evil Gitmo was, and it had to be shut down, remember? Trying the suspects at Gitmo would only inflame the Islamic world. That was important. Can't do it at Gitmo. Inflame the Islamic world. That's why you had to have them tried and sent right here into the U.S. justice system, right here in New York, he said, to showcase how fair and just we are and not inflame the Islamic world. Again, I just want to throw out these totally disconnected, noticeable moments. Our president, who is surrounded by people who are radical, one, Samantha Power, who I just told you was described as someone who sees war as an instrument to achieving her liberal, even radical values. She's the one whispering, "Let's go to Libya." He's also surrounded by other people who would love nothing better than to take down the little Satan, Israel, and the great Satan, us, as well. For that matter, people like Rashid Khalidi, a friend of Obama's from the University of Chicago, an anti-Israel extremist who was a PLO advisor to Yasser Arafat. He is, let's say, an acquaintance of Bill Ayers. And Bernardine Dohrn, the 60s and 70s terrorist. And you know what? What's weird is they're going on the Love Boat of Revolution to the Gaza Strip in May. The last flotilla had ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, who are now, by the way, starting a modesty police force in Egypt so some of the girls can be checked to make sure that they're still virgins. Isn't that great? Now, our president encouraged the youth to rise up in revolt all across the Middle East, even here. Yet, he did nothing to help the Iranian people with their revolt against Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. Then, the president went into Libya to help and protect, because Power said, we've got to do it. Yeah. And then they even armed the rebels with ties to Al-Qaeda, and some with ties to Gitmo, who were directly fighting against our troops in Iraq or Afghanistan. And he's also backing the extremist Muslim president in the Ivory Coast, who last weekend had 1,000 people killed. So I just find it interesting. Those are just all noticeable events, too, completely disconnected and unrelated, and has nothing to do with anything else in the world. Just a noticeable moment that as we have launched a third war against a Muslim nation, further inflaming the radicals, the president has decided that now it's okay to tie and try the Muslims at Gitmo, something that he said we couldn't do because it would inflame the Islamic world. But don't worry, none of those things are connected.